Kalel is only 15 years old when he got diagnosed with HIV. He is with his mother Edith, who is more concerned about what the neighbors would say if they found out about her son's health. Riding back home on the couch, the boy is sitting silently through a wave of his mother's insults, refusing to answer any of the questions. One of my reactions to the movie Kalel 15 was the relationship of him to his family. It is not in good terms. They didn't treat Kalel well. I feel pity for Kalel because of what he experienced in his age. He didn't experience having a complete family. He faces so many challenges by himself while studying, like having an HIV. His own mother felt disgrace on him. Feels like Kalel shoulders the world by handling responsibilities in their eatery. His own problem having HIV and his problem in school. I got a little bit mad at his family because when he needs more comfort of parents and sisters, they are not there to help him fight against HIV. And about his sister's boyfriend, why would he choose to have an addict person who can't do good deeds? I hate his sister's boyfriend because of him. His fake friends know his secrets and they promise that they won't leave or avoid Kalel after they knew his secrets. If I were Kalel, I would choose true friends rather than them. Because they are the reason why all students in his school, which is Catholic school, knows that he have HIV. As the story progresses, it will become obvious why. His home is not a comfort zone. And the space is invaded by mother's countless lovers and sister's drug-addicted boyfriend whose name is Danny. Also the workplace, it is a small family street restaurant is populated by these intentions. Not counting the hard work, there are jealous fights between lovers, bad jokes, and booze-inflicted conflicts. On the top of all the hardships, Kalel is the illegitimate son of the priest named George, who is serving in their archdiocese as a Catholic priest who is supposed to live in celibate. George can take over the role as Kalel's father, and their contact is limited to confessions in the church or emergency visits when something unexpected happens. Still under shock after visiting the doctor, Eddie summons George, who also isn't gentle with words. His question pierced through the air with a homophobe poison, and although Kalel is not seen in any selfies type of sexual contact with men and he even have a girlfriend, there are clear hints that about his homosexual selfies of his naked torso and his pretty boyish face that get shares over the social networks provoke responses in flirty or directed sexual messages from his male fan base. Pressured by two big secrets, Kalel spends time with his school friends, where practically knowing about his sex life with girls is the talk all of the all-male group and Kalel knows how to play his game. He doesn't just talk the talk, he's walking the walk. Kalel has an alibi girlfriend called Sue, which is deeply in love with him, and therefore perfectly capable of recognizing that something is not right. The drama starts when she decided to bite Kalel's lip and suck his blood. She is unaware that his boyfriend is infected with HIV. The boy is left alone to fight the disease and the eviction after his mother had run off with her boyfriend, and all of his friends had turned their back on him, spreading the rumor about his condition in the school. To at first seen, Kalel 15 instinctively engages its audience by posing visual and narrative difficulties. Kalel's mother telling his son not to tell anybody about his condition and her subsequent use of crude, impetuous language. The most intriguing aspect of Kalel 15 is that all of the aforementioned subjects resolve around the central contradictory notion, religion. This is shown by the fact that Kalel's father is a priest. by the fact that he attends Catholic school, and by the fact that the film mise-en-scene is laced with religious symbolism. The mystery surrounding Kalel's HIV diagnosis finally sparks contentious, complex symbolism. The mystery surrounds Kalel's HIV diagnosis finally between faith and infidelity in the Philippines, a firmly Catholic nation in South Asia. As a result, the portrayal of sexism, disdain, and stupidity among Kalel's family and friends in the Kalel 15 movie effectively underlines this particular contrast between societal conformity and sexual freedom. The mother of Kalel once questioned her son, "What would other people think?" It is apparent that Kalel's HIV diagnosis is associated with public rejection for him and his family. As Kalel navigates his social and academic life while concealing his condition, we watch this conundrum steadily come into focus. The acting of the movie protagonist convincingly played with Elijah Canlas, which his name is Kalel, is primarily reliant on for the film accomplish this tragic. Kalel 15 film is able to almost flawlessly depict this internal turmoil by examining this delicate subject with emotional depth and authenticity via eye of a 15 years old. Frequently with a mute nuance. As a result, uncertainty, rejection, fear, and anguish portrayed by Kalel is at the same instant on screen. In addition to create sense of intimacy, Kalel 15 also seemed to be inviting viewers to close examine every aspect of Kalel's life by having several of the scenes shot through wooden windows blind. As a result, Kalel 15 creates particularly intimate confession from a variety of perspectives. Intimate emotional connection between characters. Here where Kalel and his buddies attempt to drugs for the first time is especially noteworthy. Here in Kalel 15 use of slow motion successful conveys the essence of what it's like to live the life of a teenage boy. A stylistic accomplishments enhancing the movie's genuine young tone. Narratively, however, Kalel's abrupt admission of his HIV diagnosis occurs precisely at this point of carelessness and vulnerability, turning the movie into a devastating emotional chain of events. Therefore, while Kalel 15 film accurately portrays the convivial settings of youngsters who are smoking, dancing, and using drugs, these climactic scenes also serve as the impetus for Kalel demise. Kalel's criticism from his Catholic instruction for his sexual behavior. The film's most intriguing artistic element, its changed aspect of ratio, occurs after the narrative turns as Kalel's diagnosis spreads throughout the neighborhood. The sobering reality is starkly replicated within the cinematography. A self-doctor informs Kalel that HIV can spread through blood transmission. The traditional ratio is 4:3 has been compressed into a single square in the Kalel 15 movie, which is not only brings the emphasis is closer to Kalel but also heightens the emotional impact of Kalel being abandoned and discarded by those around him. The narrow frame emphasizes how Kalel is forced to fend for himself, both physically and emotionally, while the camera shakily wanders with our broken protagonist perhaps echoing his unexpected aimlessness. The small screen, now dominated by an overwhelming blacklist, shows Kalel in a fetal position after his mother departs. His sister is imprisoned, and he is forced out of his home. Kalel 15 film effectively conveys the severity of this lack of assistance and psychological damage it will cause to our protagonist as she is left on the verge of famine with only literal candle for illumination and a card box for to rest on. In a desperate attempt to get help, Kalel turned to his father, who accepts his assistance but declines to post bail for his sister, who is being held. Kalel, your sister is not my duty. Kalel's father sternly emphasizes, she is not my child, his father told him. As a result, the instability of neglected Kalel's surroundings are furthered, and Kalel 15 is able to make a point on the cyclical nature of religion. Kalel's diagnosis never specifically addresses, keeping the focus on the person rather than the illness. As a result, the film Kalel 15 is able to portray a raw and intimate insight into the life of a young Filipino boy struggling with his sexual identity and the loss of his family and friends as a result of his diagnosis through nuanced and careful introspection from Kalel's perspective. The exploration of his inner turmoil